Mm, 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 mm. We are live, guys. How's it going? Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to SCT's Live Trading. We are all active right now. It is Friday, and the stock market has dumped, which is good. It's just like what I anticipated yesterday. Let's get the charts open. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what is happening. See my trade. I'm just starting up everything, guys. I just got on my PC. So let's see what is happening. I'm still holding yesterday's trade. Let's see what's happening. How are we doing today, guys? How's everybody? Just bear with me just a couple of seconds. All right, so I've been holding my my trade since yesterday. Obviously, it's come down a little bit, only because we're expecting price to go just a little bit lower before it goes higher. I've activated a couple of buy orders over here, but I also have a couple of more trade orders right below. So let's see what happens. I'm pretty optimistic about this trade. I know for a fact that Bitcoin is going to go higher. But for the time being, it's going down in a retracement that we're going to look at just in a second. So let's take a look at where the charts are and what is going on. All right, let me open the chat. Where is the chat? All right, got the doc, and we've got the chat. Hey, Ariane, how's it going? Good to see you. Very good to see you. Okay, hold on. Let me take this down. All right. Let the quality. Okay. All right. So, who's ready to start a new day? All right. Refreshing the news. All right, let's see what happened yesterday's news. We've got unemployment claims, which ended up being green, so the dollar is doing good, which is probably going to explain why there was a bit of a retracement. But this retracement looks really nice on Bitcoin. Let's quickly take a look at gold, see what's happening here. Gold is still having really choppy price action. Let's see what's happening on the 1 hour. Yeah, it's still pretty choppy. Nothing's going on. I can imagine a lot of people are struggling over here. They're probably, all the impulsive traders are definitely losing money over here because you can see it. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? You can see price action is really choppy. There's no real momentum. So let's see how that works out. So going back on Bitcoin, let's see what happened. Right over here, you can see that exactly at this point over here, you can see that the lower high was taken out. So now we've entered into a bullish market, 100% bullish market. This lower high that was taken out is a nice level of support. So this is where price could possibly come back down to, because usually when price breaks a level, after breaking that level, it likes to come back to that level before taking off to collect all the resting liquidity. So there is also that chance where price could do that. It's not impossible. There is that potential chance. However, it is quite far off right now. But nothing's impossible for Bitcoin because we are still on a Friday and manipulations happen all the time. So to wrap it up, we've got a bullish push to the upside, and you could see that the price has just kept going higher and higher and higher, and it's taken out all the highs. See, price is closed above here, which is good. All of these highs were taken out, so it's a nice bullish structure. So now price resisted, but then as I called it yesterday, is going to be coming down and going down to levels. So this lower high that was initially taken out is a very important level. We talked about this. And you can see price rejecting off of it. And it's also rejecting off of this 4-hour short-term lower high. So while it's still in the consolidation box, it has just done a liquidity sweep on a 4-hour time frame, and now it's going to go higher. But before it goes higher, there is a nice probability where it could go down to the 4-hour fair value gap or even come down to the demand zone over here before going even higher. We're going to see explosive moves for Bitcoin in the coming days. I also just, while I was out and about today, I also looked at the news, and I also saw that there wasn't really any, what's the word? There wasn't really any, there was news today that there was no actual agreements between the Iranians and the Americans. The Iranians rejected the demands of the U.S. for removing their nuclear program and whatnot. So because of that, it's completely failed, and it's just recent. It just happened a couple of hours ago. So you're gonna see extreme consolidation in price, which is what we're seeing, because gold is simply just waiting for something big to happen. So investors are just cautiously waiting right now. So let's use some volume profile. This is the low, this is the high. Okay, so we've reached the value area high. The point of control is all the way down here, which is precisely where I believe price is going to go down. The higher low that was taken out. This is a very important area. This is where price is very likely going to come down to in order to fill more orders and go higher. So let's see. On the long term, this is the point of control over here, which is where price is going to have a lot of movements from here onwards. So let's see. Okay. Okay, let me put some notes. Price is aiming to go higher. price is currently rebalancing. All right, so this is what's happening, guys. Price is aiming to go higher, okay? And currently it's rebalancing and the demand zone is at 63,000. So price is definitely trying to go higher, but it is currently just in a range only because a big move has happened. So now it's just coming back down to fill all the imbalances. And as you can see, it's respecting this level pretty nicely. But I don't think that's enough because see, it respected this level, it tried to push higher, didn't work out, it came down, swept liquidity because it broke past this level and then tried to go higher again. And then it got rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So because it got rejected 6 times, you can see price is struggling to go higher. And in fact, it's going to go lower. And since it's going to go lower, I'm just going to secure, I'm going to close my trade. I'm just going to secure it right now. Only because like it's going to go lower, and since it's going to go lower, I'm just going to take it and just take 75% and leave the rest running. That's it. And then move my stop loss to break even. That's it. So I'm only up now 70. So I secured my profits and I'm leaving 25% running just taking partials, only because it's always nice to leave partial, because once you close your trade, no one actually knows where price is going. No one actually knows if it's going to go higher or going to go lower. We're only reacting to the levels that we see. So since I know for a fact that price is going to come back down and rebalance, might as well just secure my profits. So secured my profits and I have 25% of it still running, and my stop loss is at break even. So if it does come back to my stop loss, I already secured 75%, so I can't be upset. I'm not bothered by it. I'm good. So that being said, let's take a look at other markets. Let's see. We're going to be going to gold. Since it's Friday, guys, I don't see anything going on. It's kind of consolidated since Monday, or actually Tuesday. Since Tuesday, we've been in a bit of a box. This is when Iranians and Americans actually got together and they started discussing, you know, peace deals and stuff. So consolidation box. No trading zone. Yeah, so we are currently in a consolidation box, which is a no trading zone. Let me just push this a bit higher. No, actually, you don't need to. Yeah, that's it. That looks good. Actually, no, keep it like that because this is a 4-hour time frame. So 4-hour time frame consolidation box. Yeah, so while we're inside this box, I wouldn't advise anybody to be taking any trades because you can clearly see we're in the box. You can see price. You can see it on a lower time frame, right? We're looking at it on a lower time frame. You can see here the 50% point of the consolidation box. Price keeps rejecting it. Price keeps reacting to it on multiple fronts. And then also, if you go over here, you can also see that price is rejecting to it on multiple occasions. And then also over here, you can see it rejecting it. And even more so, you can see it rejecting here multiple times. So very, very sure to confirm that this is definitely a consolidation box. So not much is happening at gold at all. So let's take a look at the US stock market. So the stock market took a nosedive yesterday, which is what I've been anticipating because I know a lot of people keep saying that the stock market's going to go higher, the stock market's going to go higher, but honestly, I see what really is happening over here. It's pretty obvious. We've been in consolidation since October 7 last year, literally. So since October 7 last year, we've been in consolidation. Price is not going higher or lower. And because we are completely consolidated, there's no trend. So what happened day before yesterday does not mean it's going to go higher today. Price is trapped in a box. You can see it on a weekly time frame. So my anticipation is that price is going to go lower, and it's going to continue going lower because the stock market is seriously in an all-time high. And investors, people who are, just people who are like, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and all these investors, the billionaires of the world who invest huge sums of money, they are not stupid to invest millions of dollars into an all-time high, an already all-time high market. It doesn't make sense. It simply you cannot compute. So what they're doing right now is simply speculating the market and probably going to try and push the price down. If the price goes down, that is good because Bitcoin is going to go up. Because when the stock market right now is at an all-time high and people want to invest, they can't invest in the stock market. They can't invest in gold because they're both currently at an all-time high. And because they're all on an all-time high, you're going to be seeing a lot of this, a lot of it. The stock market is definitely going to dump, guys. You're going to see one day, you're going to have these, you see this line over here, this red candle? See this red candle here on NASDAQ? This is going to be 10 times longer, and it's going to happen within a day. So I'm pretty confident that's going to happen. You guys can hold my tongue on it. You'll see me coming back later reminding you guys that this is exactly what happened. Because you can already see it from here. On this day, price was pushed higher. Like it's manipulated over here and pushed higher. But then price keeps dumping. Look at that. These are a lot of dumps. There's a lot more dumps than pumps. So all these dumps are going to keep happening, and the stock market is going to crash literally all the way down. Let's look at the weekly time frame. It's going to come down all the way to 17K, 16K, probably even down to 10K. That's what I believe is very likely going to happen. So when that happens, that's when investors are going to be happy because it's too high. It's too high to buy. It's that simple. It's simply that simple. It's too high to buy. So people are currently shorting the market. If I was a billionaire, I'll probably put a couple of $1 million in the stock market and short it right now. So, and then my return on investment will be tenfold. It's going to be at least 1,000% for sure. Now let's look at the S&P 500. You can see the same outline. It's got the same structure. There's also dumping. And then we've got the German stock market. Seems to be also stable. Now let's look at Euro USD. See what's going on some currency pairs. Let's see in a 4-hour time frame. All right, what do we see? We see relative equal lows. Price is broken down this level. Actually, it hasn't. It's actually going to be bullish. The dollar is going to be weakening in the coming days. So here's an interesting level. Okay, let me draw that for you guys. You can see it's a level that's very interesting because it's reacting to it multiple times here, and especially here. This is the lowest point. All right, this is the lowest point of the market, and you could see that this candle, it broke right on the level perfectly. And then it stretched out the rejection wick, which is all the way down here. So overall, Euro USD is still bullish. You could see this imbalance was filled from January 23. There's an imbalance. From January 23, this imbalance gets filled on February 19. And price is consolidated. So I can imagine that there are position traders holding this trade right now. And they are definitely targeting the highs. So they probably entered here. Their stops right below. And their take profit is all the way up here to this resting liquidity, which is a nice 4-to-1 risk reward ratio for people who are holding like literally for the next 2-3 months. So that's what I think is happening with Euro USD. All right, so now let's look at Ethereum. Let's see what's going on with Ethereum. Yeah, pretty much the same as Bitcoin. You could see the price went up, it rejected, and then it's come down. It's filled the imbalance over here at 50% point. And then now it's trying to push higher, but obviously since Bitcoin is going lower, you can also see that Ethereum is struggling to go higher, and they're also going lower. So Ethereum is literally a carbon copy following the footsteps of Bitcoin. Let's see the dollar. Okay. We could say over here, bearish with increasing momentum, because you're starting to see something interesting on a 4-hour time frame. You're starting to see first rejection wick, second rejection wick, third rejection wick, and now it is dumping. So when the dollar is dumping, it only means one thing. It means that the economy is not going to be doing good. So even though we came out with unemployment claims yesterday and it was green, I can assume, it's safe to assume that it was heavily manipulated. The dollar is going to crash. Honestly, guys, I'm looking at the risk sentiment of the world. This is what I'm anticipating. This is honestly what I'm anticipating for the dollar. Shit, it might even go over here. That's what I'm anticipating. The dollar isn't doing good. They have so much spending. They're spending too much. They're spending way too much. Government funds isn't being appropriated in the right direction. People are struggling. All right, let's look at other coins. Take a look at Solana. All right, so we do have a bullish structure. Definitely a bullish structure, but we're still in the consolidation box. It's also struggling to go higher, only because Bitcoin is also struggling to go higher. So as long as the stock market keeps going down, there is the possibility of it retracing and going higher. Let's take a look at Shiba. I don't expect much on Shiba. Yeah, it's still struggling. Shiba really struggles. But this is a interesting place to buy. I mean, you're literally at the perfect place to buy. If it goes lower from here, like place your stops here, in case you guys enter, just place your stops underneath this low. But this is a good place to buy because it's literally filled the imbalance and it's come back down to rebalance. So let's see. But again, use proper risk management. What else can we look at? Pepe. Let's see how Pepe is doing. Something casual. All right, so let's I think we should look at the news, see what's going on out there. It'd be nice to catch an idea of what is actually going on in the world right now. Okay, let's take a look at the news. Okay, so the news. Today we have the core PPI, so I'm guessing between now until when the news comes out. We're going to be, news is coming out in about 9 hours. So between now and the next 9 hours, I'm expecting price to just kind of consolidate, simply because there's not much going on. Everyone is patiently waiting. The big whales, the big institutional traders are currently just patiently waiting because first of all, it's Friday. Not many people trade on Friday. Not many people on the charts on Friday. It is very inactive right now. And also, on top of that, we've also got news. So people are very wary when it comes to the news. And also, most importantly, we've got a global situation where the market is just pausing and waiting because Trump is constantly moving around and shifting with his decisions. But it's kind of stable. The world is stable. There's uncertainty of war, but there's also uncertainty of peace. We don't know what is going to happen. Every weekend, people are thinking, is something bad going to happen? So we are constantly at a cliffhanger. It's kind of like, it's literally the best way to explain it is we are at a cliffhanger. We are literally waiting to see what's going to happen in the Middle East, what's going to happen in the US. So, core PPI news today. So crypto market news today. So Chile's drops by 7.4%, which is crazy. Amplifying the market's decline by 4.4x and 29 billion in derivatives. Open interest evaporated. ICP drops. SEI drops. Render drops. Chainlink drops 6%. Ethereum drops 4%. Canton surges, near surges. Okay, so as you can see, everything was surging since yesterday. We were looking at this same time yesterday. Everything was going up, but then now everything is going down, and it's actually going down quite aggressively. We've got 6%, 4% drops, 3.5, 3.7, 7, a whopping 7%. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, I strongly believe that the reason price is dumping, very, very firm believer, the reason why price is dumping is you can clearly see it's dumping only because it needs to rebalance. Price came up, it's already in a bullish structure. So don't worry about anything. It is a bullish structure. The price is in front of you. The bulls are in control. You see massive big blue candles. Price is going higher. However, it needs to retrace and rebalance before it even goes higher. Like even here, you can see this massive candle, it rebalanced it literally in the nicest way possible. It filled it perfectly. It's struggling to go higher, yes, because it needs to go further down. I mean, if we go in a 1 hour time frame, you can even see more rebalances. Price, after it breaks a level, it likes to come back to the break point, the point where it broke, to go higher. So a lot of people who are actively looking to go long, like with big positions, they have their buy orders in this range over here. This is where they have their buy orders, and this is their stop loss over here, literally right below. Yeah, so let's take a look at the news again, see what else is going on with global affairs. So we looked at crypto market cap. Let's see what's going on in global politics. Yeah. So let's see. We've got Hong Kong stocks, Hyundai, Mamdani meets with Trump to discuss building. China moves. Hyundai Platinum up 3%. Pentagon talks with Google. Not much going on, guys. The world is pretty stable. Yeah, the world is pretty stable, and because the world is stable, market is stable too. So we're gonna look at the charts. It's just gonna consolidate. Price is gonna go down, it's gonna go up. It's just literally just drifting. You can clearly see clean consolidation, not much going on. Same thing with gold. See that? And you can see the candles, yes, but you can also see it this way. Price is literally in consolidation. It's not going anywhere. So since it's in consolidation, you guys need to wait, be patient. I've already secured my profits, and I'm looking for buy orders for both gold and Bitcoin, but not inside the consolidation box, only at the lower levels. Here is where I'm looking for my buy trades for gold. Here and here, these two areas are where I'm looking for my buy trades for gold. Even this higher low taken out at 4,982 is where I'm going to be looking to go long for a little while. Any questions, guys? I could do some educational material if you guys want me to teach something. Let's see the stock map. Damn. Nvidia dropped 5%. That's a lot. That's really a lot. Yeah, there's 6% volatility on Nvidia. Interesting. So yeah, any questions, guys? Price is currently in consolidation, so there's not much happening. Usually when I do analysis on gold, I match I draw my levels on the 4-hour always. You can clearly see that it's rejecting off multiple times. Price is struggling to go higher. It's probably going to go lower after this bullish run, so it needs to rebalance. Usually I like to look at the 30 minutes. 30 minutes has really clean price action, so that's what I'm thinking. Let me see if I have any other active trades. No. I have buy limit orders placed over here and here. With stop loss just below. But I don't think it will go any higher. I think price needs to go lower. It's only consolidating right now. So you can see that it's an uptrend over here. And then this candlestick breaks below. It breaks below this level. Right? Hold on. This level here. Yeah. And then price came up, filled the imbalance, came back down. Price struggled. This candle goes up. So it breaks this level of resistance here. Market structure shift. Price comes down, fills the imbalance, now it's going higher. Now that it's going higher, probably going to go down, like it's probably going to go up till here. But once price goes up there, it might come back down. You saw ByteDance says they're going to produce chips by themselves, maybe related to the drop of NVIDIA. That's a good question. Let's take a look. Let's see what's happening. That could be a reason. All I see is TikTok's parent ByteDance valued at 550 billion on a proposed sale. I don't see anything about chips. What I see is that they're proposing to sell, like they're thinking about selling. It's worth $550 billion. Just kind of crazy. 550 billion. Isn't that crazy, guys? I don't think it's a public company. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not publicly listed, so there's not much to do over there. Let's see New Zealand. Actually, I have it over here. New Zealand would be moving right now. Price will be moving at this time. Yeah, it's aiming higher. Asian session. Usually anything in Asian session, guys, the New Zealand market, any pair with the New Zealand dollar, they always move. So Asian session, the best thing you can do is look at the New Zealand dollar. That's when you're going to find that price is going to be moving during this time. Because besides that, everything else is sleeping. But you can see the New Zealand dollar price is actually moving bullishly against the US dollar, because we already saw that the US dollar is bearish. So there's an imbalance over here. Price filled it with a nice clean rejection wick, and now it's just pushing higher. And it's definitely targeting this range over here. So it's already reached here. So now its next target is to go all the way here. That's where price is targeting right now. Let's see oil. Let's see the price of oil. I'm actually surprised to see that oil just had a nice clean imbalance fill. Would never have expected that. But price of oil is definitely going up. You could start seeing that now. There's bullish momentum. It's been going down for quite some time, but now it's looking like it's reversing and it's actually going to go higher. So see the daily time frame. Yeah. It's got a nice rebalance over here. It just filled it. You know, interesting point. When I first started trading, guys, when I first started trading, the first time I opened the charts and I sat down and I started trading, I was an oil trader. I used to trade oil. And then I realized that a lot of people talked about, so, okay, let me give you guys an interesting thing. Oil, I've noticed that they react pretty nicely to support and resistance levels. Okay, but like the really long extended ones, like you need to really go out like this and then mark out the highs and stuff. And it usually responds to support and resistance levels, but even more so, they respond even better to trend lines. So if you're into trend line trading, then you should be looking at oil. So I usually just do this and mark it from here like this. You can start to see the trend. Yeah, you can even go from here. Yeah, you can see like the trend is pretty clean price action with trend lines. And then over here as well, you could start to see mark the high over here. Over here. Over here. So yeah, turn the candles back on. So yeah, you could see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, multiple times. It broke above, and when it broke above, you could see it went up, came back down, respected the level, and then it kind of moved sideways, and then it dumped just to rebalance, I'm assuming. And then it rejected off of it perfectly again, came back down, and then now it just started going higher. And you can see prices coming back down in this area, and it's probably going even higher. So I just thought that was an interesting observation for anyone who's interested in trend line trading. Oil is really good with trend lines. You can clearly see it. And these trend lines, they last for a very long time. Like they last for they literally go on for years. So yeah. Trend line trading. I mean, there's even this one indicator, even though I'm not a huge fan of indicators, but there is this one indicator called trend lines with breaks by Lux Algo. And it literally draws you trend lines. So if you go on a 5-minute time frame, whatever, you can see clear breaks with these trend lines. And if you do it with other things, like if you use it on gold and stuff, it's not that good. But it basically shows you trend lines with their breaks. And it kind of respects it. You know, you can kind of see it being respected. But I would never ever make any trade. You know, I would never take a trade using any trend line with breaks or anything like these trend lines. I would never do that. I would never bet my life on it, ever. I've made that mistake one too many times. So I would never bet my life on it. All right, so yeah, so we're looking at gold, guys. It's just it's in consolidation. Full stop. It's literally since market open, it's only moved 0.06. You might as well say it moves 0.0%. Same thing with Nasdaq, as you can see, no range, not going anywhere. Same thing with Dow Jones. Same thing with the S&P. Bitcoin, same thing. Not much is happening. Ethereum, same thing. And the dollar is moving. Dollar is moving. It is going lower. You can clearly see the moves. The dollar is not having a good morning or a late evening. It's not reacting well. So let's see. We've got on the 4-hour time frame, the dollar is rejecting. If it broke past this low over here, it would be nice, but it's actually rejecting it. So it doesn't mean anything. It just means it's in consolidation. There's no liquidity. Absolutely no liquidity right now. We're about to enter into Friday, so the market's completely died down. So what am I expecting later on today? What I'm expecting is for gold to do either two things. Okay, it's either going to stay in consolidation and it's going to range over here, and if it goes higher, it will definitely go up until here and react over here. It won't break above, it will react over here. Because overall, gold it needs to go down. It needs to go lower to rebalance itself, to rebalance all the orders over here. Because we're honestly anticipating that gold is going to claim its previous high, which is 5,598. I believe gold is going to be going up to 6,000. It's not going anywhere near there right now, but it's bullish. There you can see the bullish momentum. So when the New York session opens up tomorrow, I'm expecting gold to actually come down over here, down to 4,900, or just round it up to 5,000, or in the 5,000 range. Either here, 4,982, because of this higher low, or coming down to the 1 hour imbalance, because it is a Friday, and Fridays, manipulations happen. People get stopped out all the time over here, and they always give back to the market. So the market's probably going to dump price down to the 1 hour bounce, or even further down to the demand zone. Once it gets over there, then we can say with full confidence price is going to go higher, up to probably 6,000 in the coming weeks, probably by the month of March. If war breaks out, if we actually enter into a World War III, which is something I don't say lightly, I don't want war. Nobody wants war, but if we do enter World War III, then you're going to end up seeing price of gold going way past the 6,000 mark, probably even further up to 7,000. And the stock market will be dumping if war breaks out. So there's that. I think we're going to wrap it up soon, guys. Not much going on. I mean, I could stay and stream, no problem, but you guys need to ask me questions so I could teach you guys what to do, what's going on. This price is right now asleep. The market's not moving. So use this time to ask me some questions. Oriane, are you in a trade? Are you in a trade right now, Oriane? Or anybody else? If you're in a trade, hop over to our Discord and share your trades, share your analysis. It'll be nice to see your analysis. It's already rejecting. Tricky. Very tricky. Yeah, so you could see that the price is actually respecting these levels. So for price to come down, this is where a lot of people have their orders, right? This is where I also have my orders, around the 60K, 66K mark. The value area high is simply a point where a lot of buyers are waiting for price to go over here. So you're in a short trade, okay. Price is very likely gonna go down. So value area high is here, so price is gonna be targeting there for sure, absolutely. But it can also go down to this point of control all the way down over here, which is why I marked the 1 hour fair value gap, which is where you can see it's literally in the middle of the box. And then in the middle of this is the demand zone. You know, I love seeing how precise my levels are, because a lot of people can look at the charts and say, oh my God, it looks, it's too far away. There's no way price is going to go down. Yeah, well, if that's the case, then how come I've got my lines inside, like my boxes right inside these levels of value area high, value area low, and the POC? I'm not making it up, guys. These levels are pinpoint accurate, so price has got to rebalance. It can't go higher. Simply cannot. Yeah, let's start placing orders. So I'm going to look at the 4-hour time frame and zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I have a trigger order over here. And I'm risking for this trigger order. So I placed, where did I place this order? I have an order placed at 63,591. 63,591. The 63,591 is 63,591. There we go. This is precisely where I have my order. 63,591. There we go. So that's where I have my order. Why did I pick there? Because it's right next to the 4-hour imbalance. And also I don't mind risking a little bit because I'm targeting quite a bit. So I have like a 4 to 1 rest reward ratio. And that is what this is where I'm entering because of the POC, because of the 4-hour imbalance, because of the 1-hour fair value gap, because of the 1-hour demand zone. I want to be sure that I'm entering heavy over here, because once price gets over there, I'll be able to, you know, secure quite a bit. So I've entered the trade over here and I've secured I took partials over here. And since I took partials over here, you can see that I'm pretty happy with my trade. It can even go higher from here. As you can see, when I took partials, this was down to 70. So I literally closed somewhere around here, right? And now look at it. It's probably going even higher. And if that happens, it's okay because I took already, the market is already, I was up 200 something. Yesterday I was up 450. That's fine. Today I took $200 and now I'm up with my runners. I've taken my 75% and I'm letting 25% run with my stop loss at 0. So in case if this continues going and it goes all the time high over here, that's another 260 I made. And I can't complain. I can even remove TP completely and leave it running till next year if it goes up to, you know, 200K. And it's just, I don't need to do anything. I can just be happy with where I'm at because it's a risk-free trade, which is ideal, what I want to do. But if I'm going to be entering, no emotions, I'm entering right here with my stops all the way down here. Because this is where the order would fail. This is where logically it would fail. I wouldn't put my stops right below over here. So that being said, I thought I modified this. Yeah, so stops at break even. Okay, so yeah, so my stop will be 1400 and I'm targeting 5000. So this 5000 is literally the next high, which is outside the consolidation box. The clean 4 to 1 rest reward ratio, guys. That's all you need. All right, guys. If you want to trade and you want to get started with trading, you want to learn and get started with trading, links are in the bio. Use the QR code over here and get connected with me. And just ask questions, guys. Just ask questions and you'll have people answering you, either me or other traders who are going to answer you, because everyone's friendly in the community and we're all actively trying to benefit off of each other, because you guys need to learn how to trade. And trading is not easy. It's not for the ones who are looking for shortcuts. It's for the ones who are persistent enough to want to grow their capital and invest in themselves. So It's a trading school. It's an academy. We're sitting and we're actively teaching traders on the live charts and also on offline, on the like on live charts, live trading, and also just mentorship, where you're going to be able to learn how to trade with levels, previous historical price action, so we can see how price keeps respecting all of these moves. So join our community, follow, hit the subscribe button, like our video, and get connected with me. I'll teach you guys how to trade as an institutional trader, and just master your strategy, guys. You'll be able to do so much if you actually trade responsibly. All right, guys, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, get in touch with me on Discord. I'll literally reply to you right now if you need be. All right, see you guys again tomorrow. Actually, no, I won't be here tomorrow. The weekend, I'm gonna probably go out. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Monday, there's consolidation, not much gonna happen, so we're gonna see the range on Monday. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Also, we have a mentorship that's going on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we have like a class, and you guys are welcome to join. We've got a free lesson where you can join completely free. I'll give you an insider idea of how institutional traders trade. So you're going to have an idea of how to trade as an institutional trader. So you've got, it's on Wednesday, so you literally have just 5 days. So you can register just by joining our Discord and join for a free class. It's just like an hour long. It's nothing crazy, but you're going to get some insights on how to read the charts. It's no longer a guessing game. It's going to be very clear on what you need to do. All right, guys, so just do that. Get connected, ask questions, and I'll speak to you guys on Discord.